Hello, guys. Welcome to One Tip Cricket. We are in the middle of like a great test match between England and Pakistan, as you all know. Initially, we wanted to do a daily podcast after the end of the day, but that is obviously logistically not possible. But I think we had kind of like a thrilling day's play today, and the boys really wanted to, talk about what had happened, and we're kind of getting into the very exciting phase of this test match. So we're just going to do a little bit of a review of mostly of what happened today and then get the boys' opinions on what we think is going to happen tomorrow. So let's kind of start with the sort of big picture of where we are. Pakistan, obviously, 244 runs ahead with a couple of wickets in hand. Could have been in a better position, but I think let's hear from Khurram and Uzair about what they think about where Pakistan is right now, and what did you think of our performance today, Khurram?
Yeah, so I think the day started off well. We got the wickets that we needed. I think in the first session we got them all out, or they made it to lunch and we got them all out in the second session. Um, but got them out early. They only made 219. We had a decent lead as well, and our batting just sucked, and there were some key moments. Abid Ali's ridiculous sweep to square leg was one of them. Asif Shafiq's call for that run was another. Um, it's one thing when you're not set and you get a good ball from the bowlers and you're not able to play that, but it's a different thing when you've done the hard work and you survived the difficult bowlers and the difficult patch, and you're in your mid 20s or so and you do something silly. Same thing with Azhar Ali is a different story. I'm increasingly getting worried about his form, especially with the ball coming into him. We've talked about that before as well. Um, but Asad Shafiq and Abid Ali really had the opportunity to push that lead upwards of 300, which would have been almost impossible for England to chase. So a little disappointed, but still in a decent position. Um, it's not going to be easy for England to chase 200 plus on a fourth day either. Your thoughts, Jose?
Uzair?
Yeah, I think um, it it's going to be a very difficult chase. Just looking at some stats, and I think there was a tweet by um, Faizan Lakhani who said that no team's ever chased more than 220 runs against Pakistan in a fourth inning since the start of the 2000s. Sri Lanka was the last one to do it, and England have scored more than 244 only thrice against Pakistan, and they've never won. Their highest chase is 219. So definitely, if England want to pull this off, it will be a record-breaking moment. And yes, I agree with Param ke the short selection by Abid Ali was ridiculous. Khan Masood was unlucky, and the run out is unforgivable, but it's not an easy pitch to bat at all. And I think tomorrow, the first hour will be crucial. I think if the last two wickets can add on even like 15, 20 more runs before they get bowled out, and then Pakistan come out with Abbas and Shaheen bowling to a tight line, it's not going to be easy. I think the match will depend a lot on Yasir Shah and Shadab. It's spinning a lot. And Abbas, I would say, because he can get the ball to move off of that good length, and the ball is gripping on that pitch. So I think that first hour tomorrow morning will be crucial and fun to watch. But England have to really play out of their skins. And on their end, I think Ben Stokes will be the key. I think he's a champion and he can play out of his skin in moments like this. So will be a fun game to watch.
Yeah, I mean, you talked about like the Pakistan bowlers who would be key. I mean, we got a chance to see Yasir and Shadab both bowl really well today. Any thoughts on what you guys picked up on their
शादाब ने
bowling
तो
and
साजिश की
how
है
they can kind of
यासिर की यासिर की पांचवी विकेट शादाब ने साजिश करके
भाई
जो है
सही
वो
गेम खेली है
इन्होंने
वैसे.
कैच छोड़ दिया और फिर विकेट खुद ले ली.
No, so I think Yasser had, and this is again getting a little typical of Yasser. When he bowls well, he is phenomenal. When he is a little bit off, or when the batsmen are going after him, um, he struggles, and we saw this even last night when, and I think Nasser Hussain did a quick clip about this. Jab they wanted to sweep him and they wanted to play him attackingly. He was struggling with his line. Sorry, he's struggling with his length quite a lot. And this morning, once they were playing him a little defensively, he just got in the rhythm, and just that wicket of Butler was phenomenal. Off stump, hitting the off stump between the inside edge and the pad was too good. Shadab, again, one of the things with Shadab is if he's playing as a batsman, batting all rounder, then utilizing him as that fifth bowler in Test is interesting. He should be encouraged to use his T20 varieties that he's known for, and really try to get that tail and the lower middle order batsman out quickly. And that would be, in my opinion, his role here, along with Naseem Shah bowling in quick from the other end. Um,
The one thing I'll add, I know we spoke a bit about Azhar Ali's batting form, and clearly a cause for concern. He's falling over and looks out of sorts. I think he's got a big score in the series coming up, and I think Yunus Khan, the way he can coach players, I think will play a key role in helping get Azhar back in form. But we have to also give credit to his captaincy. I think there was a moment in the match when I was watching that the tail was beginning to wag, and we have all watched Pakistani matches where the field starts going back, it's defensive, they allow singles, the momentum goes away, and Azhar Ali made sure that he made the bowling changes and kept the momentum and kept the pressure on, even when England were beginning to score a few runs. And I think that deserves a lot of credit because at that point I was getting more and more concerned that England may eat into the lead and go to a 75, 60 run lead before they got out. And Azhar Ali did really well to make sure that that did not happen. So credit goes there for him as well.
I do think England made about 20 odd runs more than they should have, which again goes down to the way that they kind of play, especially in the lower order with Archer, batting at number nine almost. Um, yeah, I think there were a few other glimpses where I was a little happy with, or more content with the way that he was captaining compared to the Australia tour. One of those was, early on in the innings, Yasser got the ball to spin quite a bit, and immediately Azhar brought in another slip. Instead of being defensive, I think at that time they were only 2 or 3 down. And Pope and what's the other guy's name were starting to bat a little bit. So I think there were Butler, yeah. So I think there were a few instances yesterday where he impressed me as well, and then today, um, good changes that we're seeing, because in the past Azhar Ali has done some incredibly defensive moves that have not worked out well for us.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, I agree. I think he was surprisingly good in the field. I think उसकी बैटिंग ने बेचारे की जो है ना वो सारा उसका credit I think it's kind of ruined it in the sense that
uh,
I think poor shots in both innings, and I think yeah, I think I agree with Khurram that there is like a serious problem at hand with his batting. I don't know if that's like a more of like a permanent sort of problem. I mean, he's already 35 and kind of getting towards the latter part of his career. But I mean, I think it would be kind of sad that if his captaincy is kind of taking off, his batting form is waning at the same time. But in terms of like the overall situation right now where Pakistan is about 240, 250 runs ahead, 2 wickets in hand. I mean, would you guys have kind of taken this position at the start of the day, or what? I just wanted to get a sense of, like, in terms of your expectations, like what were you thinking, that we would be in a better state or worse off, or
I think from the given where we were at the end of day two, I
Mhm.
think I would have liked more. Or even if we had the same lead, would have probably preferred if we had less wickets down. Probably around the three wickets down would have been comfortable. Um, we we had a really good day one and day two, and unfortunately, this the position that we're in right now and the momentum England has right now could affect in a loss, and that's sad because so far we've played, what is it, six,
We won
nine
more
sessions.
sessions.
Out of
Yeah.
nine
yeah.
sessions, we've won about seven of them, and that's the thing about Test cricket. You have to do well every session. One session can swing the course of a game.
Yeah, I would have. I agree with Ram. I think the lead is fine, and we lost too many wickets. And again, it goes back to poor shot selection and poor decision making on the from the batsmen. But I mean, also from the English side, Root made really good changes as well. I remember when Wokes came on, I think it was Nasser Hussain or someone else who was
Born.
not too happy with the change because Best was getting the ball to bite. And he was like, why would you change and remove the spinner to get Wokes to come off that end? And Wokes then got a wicket. And then momentum was building again, and he brought on Stokes, and Stokes got a wicket. And so I think again from the English side, they fought really hard in that last session, and I agree that the momentum is on their side. And clearly, if Pakistan bowl out in the next 10 minutes, in the first 10 minutes of pace play tomorrow, then they will have more momentum. But if the tail can wag just a bit back for 30 odd minutes, we will be back on top.
I'm hoping for a
What are
yes.
you guys? What are your thoughts on, like, the pitch today and going forward?
I think the pitch was very, very competitive. I really enjoyed it. It was quick. I think the commentators have been saying the same thing as well. It's got something for both seamers and for spinners. If you once you get past that initial difficult phase as a batsman, it's not necessarily difficult throughout. It's not like batting on landmines throughout your day. And
Mhm.
Babar and Shan have kind of shown that in the first session, and even Pope to an extent yesterday and today has shown that once you get through that initial difficult period where the ball is doing something, it is pretty predictable. It's not staying low. It's not doing, it's not breaking up from anywhere. Um, I think it's now shifting towards our bowling lineup. It's favoring our bowling lineup a little bit more. And I'm hoping that the ball does reverse in our innings. It didn't really do much in our first innings. Um, there was a conventional swing, yes, but I think the pitch has been very competitive, and really enjoyed watching it. I mean, this is what we were hoping to see, right? When
Yeah.
Pakistan goes to England, we wanted to see quality fast bowling, and both teams have delivered on that.
Yeah, it's been a fantastic test match pitch. And going into day four, I think it will reverse. It's going to have more uneven bounce and natural variations. But it's been, if you apply yourself as a batsman and concentrate, you can score runs on this as well, which is my concern is that if 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 England sort of gets stuck in there, then it will be tricky for Pakistan, given that they're such a momentum team. And if you suck the momentum out and the energy out of the field there, then it'll be very, very hard for them to find a way back into this game. But it's not going to be easy to bat tomorrow.
Yeah. I mean, they have 2 days. I think that's the
It's probably going
uh,
to rain out on the fifth day.
really.
Yeah, there's rain forecast
Okay.
right on Sunday.
Yeah. But I do think the score is I mean, the silver lining of it being around that 250 mark is they will definitely go for it because they would
Yeah,
think that, I mean, it is gettable. It's not going to
and
be,
it's one of those
there's,
pitches where you can't bat at 2 runs and over and get to a score. You will have to score quick because ultimately you will get a ball that will either nip in or bounce or do something that will get you. So it'll
mm,
be a fun day's play because you have to score. You can't just play defensively and think that you're gonna get 250 odd runs in 6 sessions. No, it's gonna happen like that.
We need another one of
yeah,
those opening spells that we had yesterday. That was phenomenal by Shaheen and Abbas. Outrageous bowling.
incredible. So
Yeah.
prediction time, boys. Batao.
I think Pakistan win by 30, 35 odd runs.
You think it's going to finish tomorrow?
I don't know. Maybe I think it'll come close to a decision.
Mm.
I don't know. But yeah, 30, 35 run win.
Khurram?
Um, I'm going to go left field. I'm going to say Yasir Shah to score 50 tomorrow, and that
I
will
like
help.
that.
And that will help us get.
That would kill them. That would be
and
beautiful.
Yeah, then
that,
we're looking at a hundred run win.
I'm going to say it's going to be, an 80 plus run win for Pakistan.
Yeah, I mean, I'll go with the Pakistan win too. I think we have kind of controlled the tempo of this test match, and I think we've been the better team. Um, I think even today with the batting, I think it. I mean, I don't think it was good at all, but I think it could have also been kind of much worse. And
Could have been all
there
out
were
for
times
120.
It could have been
could
much
have
worse.
been all out. I mean, could have been all out for a lot less. I mean, there were moments where it looked like England would just
We, we,
run through this order. Like in beach mein with that Shafiq Rizwan partnership, I think that gave us a few runs. I mean, that
That was
was such a
crucial.
momentum shifter, man. I mean, if that run out doesn't happen, we're sitting pretty right now with like a
it's
280, 290 run lead.
it's so frustrating again, right? When you think about it, both those guys were batting so well. Rizwan got a good
Yeah,
delivery and a slightly unlucky decision. Um, they were
but that
batting.
run out was just
That run
it
out was
just
ridiculous,
screwed. Yeah, it was
and
ridiculous.
and it wasn't an Shafiq called it, which is even the weirder part.
But
It's
then
not his
Rizwan
fault.
said wait in the middle, and then that's what caused the stutter in the
Yeah,
ruling.
Mm,
because I mean, it's technically Rizwan's call. It's not
yeah,
Shafiq's
Yeah,
call on there,
yeah, no, I know.
yeah.
and
What
it's anyway. Regardless, frustrating, but this is kind of why we love Pakistan playing Test cricket. Um,
Yeah.
we'll
outside,
do a deeper dive on Sunday, I think, with all the boys.
yeah,
Oh yeah.
Preview
One more prediction before we go, boys. Key player for tomorrow. Who do we think is gonna step up?
Shaheen,
Mohammad Abbas.
Shaheen, Shaheen
Shaheen. I
Shafi.
agree. I think this is set up for Shaheen
This is set up for
so
him to like run through the attack.
and make a
Um,
name for himself.
I think
also,
Mohammad Abbas bowls a 7 over spell and takes 3 wickets and rips through the top order
I
tomorrow.
mean, that's not
I would
something
love that to
special.
happen.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks everyone. Hopefully we have a show tomorrow. If not, we will definitely have a show on Sunday and do a deeper dive on like the first test.
All right.
All right. Thanks guys. Bye.